Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Dimes. Today I have a very interesting unboxing for you. This is a box that came in from RG Custom, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at this thing, see what we got. Today I'm opening up with my Spyderco Para 3. This is an S45VN, great little knife with the CME. These are the fat carbon Arctic scales. I really like these. So let's go ahead and dig into this box. Well, I might not actually have to dig too much. So all I have to do is pop this open, and we are in. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh, let me take the little receipt off to the side here. What do we got? Okay. So you can probably see what's going on here. We've got something there. Oh yeah, here we go. Look at that. All right, so what we got here is some new scales for this little boy. Look at that. These are not only contoured, beautifully rounded, titanium, gorgeous. May 13th, 2023, RG Custom Work, look at that. Really nice, really nice. All right, so, and then we have a pocket clip that I'm super excited about, and yeah, nice thin one. Looks like it's gonna match really nicely with that. It'll fit right there. All right, so let's get into this. Let's go ahead and do this. Hopefully we can get this done pretty quick. So I believe they're T8s for right here. T8s. Yep, T8s right there, and I think the pivot is a T10. So let's just make sure. Yeah, T10, okay. And then we got T6s on these little guys. Yeah, all right. Okay, so I use Wehabits, which I highly recommend. Really good tools. Recommend you getting those. Now this is a great lynch clip, by the way. I'll save these because there's a lot of knives that use those lynch clips. So that's definitely something worth saving. Make sure I get those screws out. Put that over there. We'll save these three over here. It'll always be challenging getting these off, so here we go. Actually, these go here and this goes here, so. All right, I might need a second screwdriver for that, so let's see. See if we can get this off with one. Oh, very good. It's coming off pretty nicely. So far, so good. Now, the trick here is going to be to get this off cleanly. All right, we got the blade, and then we got to get the pivot. There we go. This is always going to be a little more of the challenge right here. All right, so these are the old scales. We'll put those up there. Now these kind of conform in here, so as you can see, they're usually a little bit contoured off. So let's see if we can work with that. Okay. Hopefully you didn't hear that. I've got teenage boys in the background, and they're making interesting noises, aren't they? If you can hear that, I apologize ahead of time. All right, so this is the pivot, and these are the washers. What I do like to do is do a little cleaning. Let's see, does he have instructions on here? Make sure I don't miss something here. And he does have some nice little helpful things. Okay. Actually, what he recommends is what I typically do. So that's cool. I like that. Oops, don't want to lose that. Oh, no, we lost one. I always hate that. Knock one over with the scales at this point. Stay. You guys, I want to take off. So I want to make sure I get this nice and cleaned out. What I do like to do with my washers though, is I will polish them off a little bit. So I don't know if you can see that. Just a little bit of polish. What happens is they get oxidized no matter what. And just in case there's any dirt in there that might cause them not to be as smooth as you might like them, you know? Never hurts to polish them just a little bit. A very minor polish here. Very, very minor. All right. All right, so that looks much better. Let's look at this one here. Looking good. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and wipe these off. Make sure there's no polish left from the strop. Just like to keep everything nice and clean, you know? Always helps with reassembling a knife. Looks like we got a little bit of, I know what that is right there. Probably a little bit of stuff. I don't know what you want to call it. Stuff. All right, so I'm not too worried about the pivot, right? That's just going to happen. It's probably from the Loctite, I'm going to guess. Most likely Loctite. That's what I'm going to guess. We'll put the blade stop right there. Okay. What we'll do next is we're going to put this in. Now, what we need is our oil. I always put a little bit of oil on here with these washers, right? So pivot's going to be here between the knife. So we just a slight touch of oil on the backstop. Can y'all see that? Okay, I want to make sure I got a good view of that. Okay, now I should look real quick. Was there? Yeah, there's a D. Oh, I happened to hit that perfectly. Wow, that's really unusual. I got the D part, so there's a, if you can see that, there's a little D part, a little cutout right there, and I got that in perfectly. That's a good sign. I'm going to take that as a good sign, and you know, there we go. Look at that, nice and centered, not moving around, just what we want. Put a little bit here. All right, then I'm going to take the blade over here that I've cleaned. Of course, wouldn't hurt if we tighten that in first. Let's do that since we had it in. I'm just going to kind of hold that there so that I can get that screw in. And that would be this one right here. We'll put Loctite on afterwards. We're just going to get everything sorted together for now. And I think that's what RG Custom Works talked about too in its help, which is kind of cool. So just kind of hold things in place, right? That's all we're doing right now. I'm going to put a little oil on this side. Put that on there. Put a little oil on the inside here. Now, I need to put this on here. So this part's got to go in. I want to make sure that's lined up. Okay. So that's going to take the smaller screw, this one here. We're on this side, so we're going to look for this one. To make that line up, let's get that in there. You know what I'm going to do? I think might be a smart move. We're going to put this in here first. We're not going to tighten it in. We're just going to help it to line up. All right, so that's going to hold it in place, I think. Then I'm going to put the screw in the back. All right, so that's got the screw in. So we'll take that out. Okay, so far so good. Now we're going to line this up over here. Now this is where we got to pop everything together. Okay, so those made it through the hole really nicely. Very good. So far so good. Kind of, I think, what he was talking about, lining everything up. Don't tighten everything down just yet. So what I do here, just so you know, I reverse thread this first. This looks like there's a flat part right there. I might have gotten this backwards, so let's see if I did that. We'll just take this off again. It's unfortunate, but you know what? We're not making anything super tight, so we are going to work with what we have right now. There's time to fix and adjust everything. Let's see. Does this have a captive pivot down here? Maybe it doesn't. It does not. The captive pivot is on the other side. Yep, my bad. All right, so that's a good reason not to tighten everything down. Kind of see how everything fits together, right? So let's put this back on. Not tight, just in. All right, so that's now in. Yep, and that's how that fits. We'll put this back on here. Okay. Got to make sure the washer's on there nicely. Don't want to bend that. Take care of that washer. Just need that to line up. There we go. There we go. All right, so it's a little off center. Let's see if we can fix that. All right, so it's not quite centered yet, but what I'll do is, just hold 1 second, I'm gonna grab my little centering piece of paper. I have a little sheet for that over here. So how to center a knife. So what you deal with is the blade is a little to the right, and that all happens with everything settling in here. Sometimes I could disassemble it and reassemble it and it might fix itself. That's why I loosened up, so that maybe to see if it would settle in a little bit better. But what we're going to do is we're going to loosen the pivot. And then I'm going to loosen the body screw. And since it was leaning to the right, I'm going to put this in here, where I'm pushing the blade over to the right. So what we then do is we first tighten the pivot screw really tight. Both sides. Okay, we tighten that really good. Then we tighten the body screw. Then I take out the centering. Now we look, see if we're centered. We come back and we loosen the pivot screw up here. And let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice and centered. Okay, so let's see. Are we a good drop? Yeah, we are. Yeah. All right, so now I can put in some Loctite. But before we do all of that, let's just enjoy this for a second and look at these beautiful milled scales. Look at this beautiful radiused milling and texturing. I love that. Look at this on both sides. And then along with the deep pocket carry clip, you know, definitely not prioritized, but that's okay. It's beautiful enough that it can stick out a little bit. I'm okay with that, right? I wouldn't mind that sticking out. That kind of would stand out, I think. This is definitely an upgrade. And if you're interested in these, it's RG Custom Works, by the way. RG Custom Works. Outstanding milling. This is nice. Titanium. It's got some flexibility to it, which I like. And so that should fit in there nicely. Now it looks like it's got a little bit of room. Might have to tighten that up a little bit, but you know, that happens with titanium. I do like the fact that he made this nice and thin, which makes this flexible. So that's nice. It's going to be easy in the pocket. Matter of fact, I'm going to try that real quick and see what it feels like. Oh yeah, that's butter. That's butter. That's really nice. This is going to be a lot of fun. All right, so all I do next is I put a little Loctite in the screws and let it sit for an hour or so, or 24 hours, and then it settles in really nicely. But man, this is a beautiful upgrade. This makes this a knife that I'll enjoy carrying all over again. And I like the black on here. That actually doesn't look too terrible. I was thinking of getting maybe a gray CME. This is Compression Made Easy by OCD for EDC. Definitely recommend that. But there you go. That's really it. Not as hard as it seems. Now, I did watch Nick Shabazz, and he had a hard time with it. And, you know, I've taken Spydercos apart before, and especially with, you know, their lanyard, that can be really challenging. So I've already gotten past that once, but sometimes it's not worth getting it off of these scales if you don't need to. It really isn't. You can just leave it on there and it works just like you saw what I did. I just reassembled all these pieces separately, and that was fine. Unless you're going to get a new lanyard hole, because you can get some of these. I was thinking of getting Menton Boss makes one that plugs in, fills in all the way. But I don't know. I might just leave it like this. Looks kind of nice. Kind of matches here and here. And the radius just kind of draws, I don't know, it's a nice accent, I think. Really cool. I really like this a lot. Very cool. I like the action, everything. Really nice. Now, mind you, I really did enjoy my Fat Carbon Arctic Storm. These were great by RGT, which is RIP's Garage Technology. They make some fantastic stuff. They also make some titanium ones. I saw their titanium ones, but I really like RG Custom Works. This really appealed to me a whole lot more. And it's definitely on a different level, I think. But this was a relatively easy install for me. So I don't know. I know Nick Shabazz had a little trouble with the lanyard. I did not at all. Maybe he milled it out just a little bit more, which is perfect. And I don't mind that at all. That's actually really nice if he did. So yay, good job. Anyways, you have any questions? Any questions about this knife? Let's get a nice close-up so people can see that and enjoy that. Definitely want to show for sure. Here, let's get all this stuff out of the way so we can see. Just the screwdriver wants to get be a star. Here we go. You can just see that right there. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. Here, we'll even do this right here. Give you a nice full shot. Then we'll do this right over here. Since we know this is Golden, Colorado, USA made. Really like this. USA scales, USA everything on here. Very much American made. Love that. All right. Hey, if you have any questions about this unboxing and installation, would you let me know in the comments down below? Any questions about the knife, or maybe even RG Custom Works or anything like that? Love to hear your questions. Would love to answer your questions and everything and talk to you about it. So, and any ideas, advice for future videos, I would love to hear them as well. So thank you so much. If you guys enjoyed this video, you found this interesting, fun, worthwhile, entertaining, or just informative, would you consider hitting the like button down below? And if you hit that like button, would you consider hitting the subscribe button? Liking and subscribing to the videos really helps out the channel, allows me to produce more content, do more things, so I really would appreciate that. If you've already done the subscribing and all that good stuff, would you consider hitting the notification button so you can be notified of future content? And if you've done all that, maybe check me out over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Hey, thanks so much for watching today. You guys have a great day and a great week. Bye.